Hello and welcome to my design commentary video on my Hammer Girl project, and welcome to the first hub area, which is the village, where the player will be able to visit and speak to different NPCs to talk to them, get some lore about the world, and sort of have a understanding of the predicament that they are in. So we'll speak to this first NPC here, which this NPC is telling us that the leader is waiting for them in the burnt forest. So the player can either head there or explore the village first, but most players will go straight to the burnt forest. And for this design commentary video, I'm going to head straight to the burnt forest. You see here, obviously in this forest there's obviously some burning trees, some trees are falling over here, and let's speak to the leader here. So the leader's text here is just a sort of representation that the player needs to complete the 3 trials, which are the 3 different levels across the worlds that are built, and this sort of tells them that they have to save our own, the player has to complete the 3 trials to save their own world. He tells us that they can head through the portal when they're ready, so the player can, if they want to, go back and explore the village before, or they can head straight into the portal, which is what we're going to do. Head to the portal to our first world. So our first world here is the frozen world, where as you can see it's snowing. Don't get that much in the UK, but you know, we have it here. And obviously there's a campfire here and an orange bar, which I'll explain in a second, but let's speak to our first quest NPC here. It says, "Hey Hammer Girl," and his name is Chris Pratt, this text is talking to him about the first trial, a bit of backstory on the frozen world, how it's been sort of punished with an eternal blizzard for a reason, which the player can find different NPCs to explain that. He must venture out into the world and collect him 7 gems, which he will say here, so find me 7 gems. So the player can do that by destroying barrels and other things, and the player will then obviously say, he tells you not to freeze out there. So if you see the orange bar on the bottom left of the screen, if I walk out of the campfire's radius, you'll be able to see that it will start to deplete. This is a sort of temperature system, so the player stays nice and warm here, it won't go down, but if they venture out into the cold, it will start to. So there's a few NPCs here. There's this one here saying it's pretty cold here, and another one saying his name is Cole Palmer. So let's go into venture to the world and find us some gems. So you got to sprint so we don't die. So we got our first barrel here. Smash that. Get our gem. As you see in the top left hand corner, there is the gem count to sort of help the player determine how many gems they have. Just keep moving. So the for the snow system, I've used a Niagara element to keep the snow, and how I've got the snow is that it's stuck onto the player's blueprint. So whenever the player moves around, they will obviously, the snow will follow them for other things. So I don't have to place the snow in the level; it just sort of is on top of the player. And the way I disable it is that when the player touches a what's it called? A thing. When they learn to level, it'll activate a certain code, and when they touch a box, then the snow will disable on the player's character. So the first sort of gem, which is, there's 3 gems in the world and 4 in boxes. That counts to 7. I'm good at maths, I'd hope. So the player has to complete some parkour here. Now, there may be a time lapse here. If I'm, because I'm not the best, it is beatable, but we may see it. Okay, I might be here for a while. I'm not gonna have time. No! There we go. Oh, I'm gonna do it! Yes! No, I can't bottle it now. I can't bottle it like Arsenal. Oh, I done it! I have the gem! Jump! Jump! Yes! Get in! Right. So that's how you get the other gem. Now, it is quite difficult. I can't lie. But I've done it after 18 minutes. Anyway, so let's keep going. So, oh, and here's the other gem that the player will find. So they now have 2 of the open world gems, which do not require breaking, which, obviously now I have 4 gems. And obviously another campfire here. Heals from. Then we can go in through here. Now this is where the other gem will be located. So the player in this world has to sort of explore quite a lot to sort of find the different gems. Obviously, you can find the barrels. Obviously, it is sort of pathed out. The roads do eventually lead to all the different places. So you got the other gem. So I need one more. Here's the other barrel. Get in. So we are now have all the gems. So let's return to Chris Pratt, our NPC. If I could jump through. Very nice. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh, you have to be absolutely kidding me. Oh, I'm going to have to do that parkour thing again, aren't I? Oh. Now, after the player has got all the gems, after I've re-got them all now, the player will then head back to Chris Pratt to complete their quest. Make sure I get my heat this time. There we go. So we speak to him. Say, well done. The gate near the mill is now open. So, now we can head to the exit of the level, which is another portal. But there's one more little sort of puzzle the player has to beat before they can actually complete the level. See, here's the mill. Head through here. Up the mountain. Speak to this guy here. Careful, there are trees. Oh, you see, so careful, there's trees falling from the top. So now the player has to be careful that someone is throwing trees down. So they don't want to hit them. So the player has to be careful not to hit them. Oh! And as you can tell, I got hit one. And I will teleport back down here. So now I've been hit by one, so I teleport back down to the campfire. Similar to how the other code works with where I hit the thing. So I'll climb up here. Missed it this time, narrowly. And I run up here, and that's it sort of done. So I can do a campfire. You see, after that, you'll climb through up on here. Now I really like this shot because you can sort of see the whole world and all the snow in its full glory. Now the player has to jump over here, over the down track, climb up here, get to the other campfire. There we go. Now we can use the portal to leave. You see, you've got some cool fire totems here. Speak to this guy. The guy who's around the trees. They went through the portal. So now we have to chase after them. So just to be careful as we move on to our next world. Now, before we start, as you can see, the snow has stopped. And also the left bar is no longer active because in this world, the sort of snow and the temperature has no effect on us. So let's move on to the second trial, which is the Mushroom Village. So then we speak to the other NPC here, who is going to talk to us about our second trial and how it works. So we here are going to be testing our parkour skills, and he has to find 3 gems that he's placed around the world. He tells us that there's a village nearby, that he wouldn't go there, giving us a bit of more backstory on the world. Telling us they're a bit strange. So, when we've had all the gems, this player character will move us down. We got another NPC here. Tells us it's a big drop down there, so the player now will have to jump down here, which is a cool little thing. Hit here, and now this is where the fun begins. The player will have to complete parkour. If they land in the water, they will get sent back to a bit. So this bit isn't as difficult as it looks. See, I was able to do that first try. So the other ones, you know, a bit. Nicely done. Then we have the other bit, these logs, you have to scale across them. This way isn't too hard. And there you have our first... scratch that. And we have our first gem. This bit. So we can run through here. Jump across these. Now we get to our first spline. So the spline, what the spline does is it moves objects around a circle. Now the player can obviously, I've used these in multiple different ways. I've used these for different parkour, so it obviously takes around a sort of certain track that the player has to complete. I've bottled that one. So the player has to sort of jump on this box that's moving through the lake. Yeah. So let's quickly do. There you go, we're on top of here. Oh, we've done it. So now the next one is there. So you have to sort of time it perfectly to, well, more or less perfectly to jump on the box. There we go. Gotta get on these logs. Ugh. So the next one should be with us soon. There we go. So now we are on this log as it takes us through. This one's a bit slower because obviously just take a dive. And we get up in here. And here is our second gem. See, that wasn't too hard. That's the other one. So now we have the second gem. And now we'll continue with our parkour. So this NPC tells us that some ran through here and he took the last gem. And they went into the village that our quest NPC told us that we shouldn't be going into. So we have one job. Let's venture into the mushroom village. I nearly said the mushroom kingdom then. Copyright. So obviously as you move through the village you start to see there's a lot of mushrooms here. And and there is mushrooms on top of the buildings, on the floor. So the player can explore these, obviously see all the massive mushrooms that I've taken over this sort of village. There's no one here. So you start moving, the player can explore and trying to find the gem. So the player comes through here. And when they see this grass little road here, this will take him through. And we find our final gem. Like we said, the NPC will move us over. He says, well done, and we can use the portal to leave. So there's other little hidden little things that the player can find in the mushroom village if they'd like to explore. So we come here and use another railroad to leave this portal. As we're then on to the final trial after this. Don't want to fall off here, that'll be quite embarrassing. So I'm here, up here, to the final portal. And welcome to the ghostly forest. Now this is our third and final trial. You see there's a few ghosts moving through. As you can see, I've used the spline again to have a ghostly object moving and flying through the world to scare the player. And our final quest NPC says, hi, Hammer Go. And he also tells us welcome to our final trial. And he wants us to test our strength by moving boxes across the different locations to open doors. And we have to get him 10 gems. So obviously in this world we have to find gems on the floor and also gems in boxes. So obviously the player will tell us here that the NPC will tell us that he'll then open the wooden door. And he also tells us that Ghostbusters are on annual leave, so there will be some ghostly figures here, which we might get jump scared by. So here's one of them, Boo. So you see the world, this sort of environment has obviously some natural terrain, and also a lot of the objects are turned into ghostly items. Yeah, a ghostly tree there. So here's our box. And obviously we have another NPC, another ghostly NPC saying, do you like scary movies? So we have to move this box, but we have to move it into this yellow thing here, which is the indicator to tell us that we have to move it there. Obviously you have one of the boxes here. Grab that, grab our first gem. So let's go. Let's move this box. We'll push it, there we go, and the gate opens here behind us. So we can go through here and get our second gem. So the box is here, which the player will have to find. And obviously look through via the trees, but they should be able to move it. So you can see here, to make this a little bit harder on the player, I've placed some more obstacles to sort of stop the player from just taking it and moving the box. See here, come on, come on. Let's push to see there is our other box with our other gem. Keep pushing, come on. There we go. Oh, there's another bit of an obstacle. Spoke too soon. Come on. There you go. You can see there is our little indicator to tell us where to place our next box. Come on. Push it in. There we go. Before I forget, I'm going to grab my other gem box with my hammer. It's hammer time. We have our third gem. And then we also have a fourth gem. Now, to get this other box, as you can see, we have to do some more parkour. You know, I love parkour, supposedly, as you can tell. It is a great part of gaming. So the player will have to jump on these boxes. This one's a little bit easier because it's not solely based on parkour. Got a bloody ghost that's flying everywhere. And there we go. See, I did that first try. I promise you that. So you obviously have to push the box off this little mountain thing here. Push it down. Push it down. Now you can see it hits the floor. Then we also have to now, using our strength, push it over here. Come on. Oh, barrel. Sorry, barrels are more important. We have our fifth gem. Making some great progress. Halfway there. We're halfway there. Oh, another scary, ghostly entity. Oh. Come on. There we go. Come on. Nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly in. Yes. Get in. Next door. Found a box straight away, but we have our sixth gem here. And another barrel, as you can tell. Bang! Yay! Our seventh gem. We're making excellent progress. Yes. So I believe that is the final one done. We have our eighth gem. And then we have our ninth. Now I've missed one. Here it is. Totally didn't miss it. So obviously now we have all our gems. So now we will head back to our quest NPC. Well done, the wooden door is now open. Thank you. So he's opened the wooden door for us. You can see now the wooden door is now open. That has been my Hammer Girl overview of my project. I hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching.